it looked based on the groups like you guys have made some decisions. Was that second group the roster that you expect to go into the season with? I know Robertson wouldn't be it,
right.
But the other 22?
Yeah, right now that is what our roster will look like come Thursday night.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Mark.
I know Mika disclosed why he was out. Given the seriousness of COVID, have you had a conversation with him and just to talk to him, because obviously respiratory issues could be an after effect, and
right.
Getting out there for the first day with practice, it could be just respiratory issues because of the conditioning. Any talks with him at all?
Yeah, we've talked quite a bit actually since he was diagnosed. He felt pretty good today. This is really a day-to-day situation. I mean, you just don't know how you're going to respond. And the good news is he's gotten better and better over the last 4 or 5 days when he was able to start some light activity. So, we're not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. We're not sure what's going to happen Wednesday or Thursday. But talking to him after practice, I think he felt pretty good about where he was at and how he felt.
Hey, Dave, do you know how many guys you'll have on your taxi squad and how many will actually be on the active roster? And also, is Robertson a candidate to stay on the taxi squad for a while?
Yes, he is, and a lot of that will be determined by what happens with waivers today. So, we have an idea, a loose idea what we want to do, but a lot of that's going to depend on who clears and who doesn't.
Yeah, David, yesterday you touched on it a little bit with Keandre and Jacob Trouba, and I'm curious, and you mentioned that, how much space they take up. What else do you like about that pair? Because clearly that looks like it could be a pair Thursday night, and Miller especially, what has he done further now to impress you beyond what he did in the bubble?
Well, again, we all have to keep in mind it was the bubble practices and training camp so far, but what has impressed me is how calm he's been. He's worked hard, he's closed on people, he's made real good decisions with the puck. And from a defending standpoint, he's like a praying mantis with that stick in his arms and his legs. I mean, he's tough to get around, and when you think you have him beat, there he is with his stick. So, there's just an awful lot to like about him, and let's not overlook his elite skating for a guy that size.
Hi, Coach. Last week there was a reference to a little bit more grit and determination on defense. Have you seen that since in the last week?
Well, when I said defense, I meant team defense. It isn't just talking about the 6 defensemen or 7 defensemen that we have here. So I'll let you know on Thursday. It's tough to tell when you're going every day against your own teammates. Guys are reluctant maybe to do something that they wouldn't normally do. So I have loved our work ethic, but we do have to finish checks for sure.
Coach, with the season 3 days away now, is there a growing sense of anticipation to get started?
Yeah, I think our guys felt that today. I think they were looking forward to having training camp end and getting a rhythm, and it's coming fast. I mean, it's crazy to think that Thursday night's right around the corner here. So our guys certainly are excited and anticipating a good, obviously one of our biggest rivals, if not our biggest rival, and no better way to start the NHL season than play against the Islanders.
Yeah, David, with those final few spots, especially with the forwards, obviously we saw you're going with Lemieux, Howden, Rooney, and DiGiuseppe. How tight was that competition, and where do you kind of see Morgan Barron's development at this point? I mean, what did he show you, and now what's kind of the plan for him moving forward?
Yeah, the competition was tight for sure, and Morgan, we actually talked yesterday, I think Morgan looked nervous through most of the camp, and people handle expectations differently. I think there was a lot of talk of him maybe having an opportunity to make the team, and there certainly was an opportunity for him to do that. But it's a big jump, and he's a really good player. We love having him here. I'm not going to be surprised if he plays games for us this year, but he just looked a little bit nervous, gripping the stick a little bit too much, worried about not making a mistake. I thought his best hockey was last night. I thought the scrimmage last night, he was good.
Coach, you mentioned that the taxi squad will depend on what happens with the guys that were on waivers and such. In camp, is there one attribute that you think the team might be lacking, that you guys might be looking at the waiver wire to pick up a player that's been waived by a different organization?
Yeah, I'd rather keep those discussions private between myself and management. I think every team's always looking to improve regardless of what type of depth they have. I mean, this is pro sports. I mean, you're always trying to get better every day. You may think you're set in one area, and a guy that becomes available you may have an opportunity to improve that area. So, to me, it's it's circumstantial for sure.